Hi everyone, this is Via from Via Creates, and today I'm going to show you how I created my November bullet journal cover spread. For the last couple months, I've been doing deer themed spreads, and this is my third bullet journal spread in this series. And just for reference, this is the spread that we're going to be making today. I call this theme Dear Delivery just because it has alliteration and it sounds cute, but basically the idea behind it is an envelope with a bunch of botanicals and deer jumping out of it. So I decided to start with drawing the envelope, so I brought out my ruler for that and just drew it kind of slanted across the page. I've actually never drawn an envelope before, so the finished product was a little bit inaccurate. The little triangle in the middle was a bit too high, but I think once I added everything else in the spread, you don't really notice it as much. Right now, I'm mixing a light cream color to just fill in the majority of the envelope. I wanted to put down some base colors, so I did the outside in this light cream here, and then I'm doing kind of the top inside part of the envelope in a red color. On a separate piece of white printer paper, I'm writing in the letters for the title, and I'm doing each letter individually, and I'm going to cut them out later. All I'm using for the lettering is Crayola Supertip markers and a Papermate flair pen. I keep trying to expand out of my normal November color scheme, but it seems like every year I do the same sort of reds and browns for November, and honestly I think it works really well with the vibe of the month. I personally love the month of November. I am very much an autumn type of person, and so I just tend to gravitate towards those warm colors for this month, and lots of themes of nature and falling leaves and, just trying to make a theme that feels really cozy and warm, kind of like Thanksgiving and apple cider and all the good things that come with November. When I cut each letter out, I'm leaving kind of a good deal of white space around the edges, and I round out each of the edges even if in the letter they're a bit more straight. Now I'm taking each of the letters and gluing them onto a red piece of construction paper, and I'm going to cut them out again, leaving a border of red around the white. After gluing them on, I took my watercolors and I went back to the envelope to add more detail. So the first thing that I did was I took a darker brown than I had colored the envelope in and did a scalloped border 2 times around the top of the envelope. While the watercolor was drying, I went on to make some of the decals for this spread. Since I was doing a mail/letter theme, I decided it'd be super cute to draw some deer themed stamps to go along with the spread. These were super easy to make. All I did was draw some sort of square or rectangle, then do a scalloped border around the edges, colored the border in white, and also drew a little design in the middle that matched the colors and the themes of the spread. With the brown Papermate flair, I went back in and defined the edges of the scallops and drew little designs inside. On the first row, I did veining similar to what is in leaves, and then I did a little scalloped border around the edge of that. And then the second row, I did more of a flower petal type shape with 3 scallops at the top. Then I drew vines as if they were hanging down from the scalloped edge. In the bottom left-hand corner of the page, I had already put down the stamp that I had drawn, as well as just a torn piece of brown construction paper. And with a Papermate flair, I tried to draw what you get when your mail is processed and the post office puts a little stamp on it. To be honest, I should have gotten a letter as reference to just look at it while I made this, but I think you can still tell what it is, hopefully. And so basically I just wrote November inside of it and drew little squiggly lines coming off of the circle to indicate that that is what that was. Then I took a bright red Crayola Supertip and wrote the year 2021 in different size numbers along the side. Here's a surprise visit from my kitty Hazel. She was curious as to what I was doing, so I let her look around. I felt like some of the aspects of the envelope needed to pop out more, so I added some highlights with my white gel pen. At the bottom of the envelope, I drew a little deer family looking up at the vines falling down. I wanted to create a comforting fall scene to remind me to take some time to look at nature this month. As you can tell, I didn't draw out the deer in pencil first, and it is not because I was very confident in my deer drawing skills. It was actually because my pencils were in another room and I did not feel like getting up to go get them. So that's why my deer might look a little bit wonky, but I still think that they're cute, and it'll remind me next time to make sure I have all my supplies next to me when I start journaling, because I literally will not get up once I sit down. Here I'm just adding some final details with my markers to the bottom of the envelope. Now it's time to do what's really the attention grabber of the spread, which is the deer and nature items flowing out of the envelope. I started by drawing 2 deer jumping out of the envelope in opposite directions using a dark red fine-tipped pen. After that, I just freehanded different botanicals like flowers, leaves, mushrooms, other nature things like that, and I made it a really organic, flowing feel to kind of express a lot of movement within this part of the spread. The key to getting a good freehand design is by starting to draw all the lines first. If you have a basic idea for where you want the foundation or the backbone of your design to go, it helps a lot when you're developing your entire design to make sure that everything is evenly spaced out and flows well together. After building up the top part of the envelope with the major pieces, I also went in and drew smaller elements to fill it out. In order to add more interest to the top part of the envelope and also add some more separation between different elements, I used a bright red marker to highlight and fill in different parts of the design that I had just drawn. I think this allows your eye to be drawn more to the movement, and also it helps to break up the monotony of having a lot of just plain outlined shapes. Once again, I used my white gel pen to add details such as the spots on the deer and highlights to the red aspect of the envelope. Then I used a red jelly roll pen to add in just a few more of those details. After looking at the brown paper by the month a little bit more, I realized it looked a little plain, so I went in with a brown pen and added a grid pattern. Then I drew a couple more stamps to add to the spread. I didn't have any full washi tape, so I actually ended up using some scrapbook paper with a leaf pattern design on it to use as a type of washi paper kind of look. Since it wasn't a washi tape, I did have to cut it in half so that it would fit the fold of the page better. I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy sitting by the sunny window at first, but it was kind of blinding after a while since I was using white paper, so I was kind of rushing this last part because I was starting to have my eyes hurt. Finally, it is time to add the obligatory polka dots to cover the spread, plus my cat came back to say hi. After about 2 hours of work, here is the final result. I love my little happy deer family and the leaping deer coming out of the envelope. I know it's kind of a unique theme, but it is one that I really like, so thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that this was helpful to you and inspired you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.